Welcome everyone to the fourth episode of Toa Superior. Today I'm taking a look at 2015 Kopaka and 2016 Kopaka to combine them into one set that combines the best attributes from both. I'm Metagross Freak, and let's get started. First off, something pretty much everyone should have seen coming. The heads. These are basically the exact same color, so I'm going to go with the eye stalk that doesn't easily flip around everywhere because of its long brain. So I'm going to go with the shorter eye stalk. However, I'm going with the 2015 Kopaka mask because, well, it looks more like classic Kopaka. 2016's mask is very Toa Nuva-ish, but I don't plan on using a lot of silver. I may decide to use the 2016 mask later, after I've designed it, but I'm going to go for now with the 2015 mask, just because of nostalgia. Comparing the 2015 and 2016 legs, they're almost virtually the same. In fact, if you look at the bone pieces on the back, you will see that they actually do have they have identical bone pieces. It's just that one has the crystal armor and a little bit of leg additions because of the piece of unity, and the other has traditional plate pieces. However, one thing is for sure, I really like the gold for the legs. I'm just going to do something pretty simple. I'm going to take these long gold pieces. Basically, the bottom half of the legs are almost identical to how I had the legs originally. And the top half is going to be basically the inverse because I have these white shells on which I'm adding the gold crystal armor. There we go. There we go. I think that looks pretty nice. I find parts of the 2016 models to be inferior because they are too custom. And the big problem with the 2016 arms is that they have ball joints instead of socket joints, which means I have to have custom shoulders in order to have these arms work. Now I may end up deciding to use these after all, depending on how I assemble the shoulders, but I'm not really a big fan of these big engine block-like shoulder pieces. I'd rather just have the 2015 pauldrons. I'm going to try to make those work. So I don't think I'm really going to be using these very much, though I might try to incorporate this blue armor, though I'm pretty content with how these pieces are arranged. When it comes to torsos, I really like the 2015 torso. Not only does it have the gearbox, it has it has these large pauldron pieces I like from originating from the Hero Factory Savage Planet, and it has this large chest piece that I like. I really love the print on that. The 2016 chest plate, well, it's alright. It's a decent print. I'm not a big fan of it though, it's decent, but I do not like the sockets for shoulders instead of the balls. I do, however, like these white Borak eyes. I might try to incorporate that into the build, but I'm definitely going to try to put the gearbox on the waist articulation and see what that makes. Torso is easy. We're going to take the gearbox from basically my 2015 Kopaka, take one of these 3 long pegs and push it through. Then take a 2 long peg and put it above and plug that in so that once again the gearbox pieces appear right above the cross beam. Now, to continue it, I actually had to take 2 Hordika necks. Luckily we have plenty of Hordika necks from deconstructing Liwa and basically everything that has Hordika necks. So we need 2 of those, and you're going to need to get another one of these black tile pieces that has 2 axles and a peg. If you saw my Golly video, you have kind of an idea of how this is assembled. Basically, I'm taking one of these 3 long pieces that is 2 parts axle, 1 part peg, and I'm putting one in each hole of the gearbox, right above the crossbeam. And I'm putting in these 2 Hordika necks right on top of the crossbeam. like so, and now I just simply place this over. Now the reason it's important to put a half beam instead of a full beam is because when you place this chest plate on, there will be enough clearance. If you put on a full-length chest plate, like a full plate like one of these, it will not have enough clearance. So you need to have a half one to have just enough clearance for the chest plate. Completing the back armor is really easy. I'm just going to take 2 of these white Borak eyes with a 2-length red axle. I'm going to put 1 on each side, right underneath where the Hortika eye is. If you watched my Liwa video, you'll know that it's kind of similarly based to the Liwa design. I'm going to take one of these 3 long pins and put it underneath the current blue one sticking out, and put in one of these long beams with a ball joint in the middle. Put that over. However, before we add this piece of shell armor, I'm going to make a quick little assembly. You may need to take the beam off for this, but just keep in mind that that's where it goes. I'm putting a 2 long double peg in the bottom hole right above the gear function of the waist, and putting in one of these cool Technic pieces. It's a peg on one side and an axle on the other. Just popping that in right there. But right before I do that, I'm sliding in an axle piece, a 3-length axle, doesn't matter if it's gray or black or whatever, and putting in the last 2 Borak eyes that came with 2016 Kopaka. And I'm sorry that I'm dropping pieces everywhere, but like that, you'll notice it's basically a shorter version of the one that came with the Kopaka from 2016. But I'm popping that right onto the black peg piece as kind of a little bit of back armor, and you can choose, the ball piece. Now, I actually did try, you can have it facing down, but it doesn't exactly fit right because the Borak eyes not having enough clearance with the shell piece. So have its the little peg little peg openings are pointed up, and there you have it, kind of a little backpack with these little icicle pieces. Now this little assembly at the bottom does wiggle a little bit, but that's okay. Hopefully it's not that noticeable. But I think that looks pretty awesome. There's a little bit of a gappiness, but I don't think it'll be noticeable considering that you need to have room for your fingers for the action feature. Alright, to finish off the limbs, to finish off the torso, I'm taking the pauldron pieces that came with 2015's Kopaka. I'm leaving these little bits in and basically putting them about face like that. And kind of scrunching them up along the shoulders for now before I put on the Kopaka head. There we go, perfect. We got a gear function in one arm, we got a gear function in the waist. Now it's time to put it all together. So here we have my build for Kopaka. We have, of course, the 2015 pauldrons. We have the crystal armor on the legs and arms. Now there may be concerns that these crystal armor pieces on both upper arms may have collision issues with the pauldrons. I did check, and if you just kind of tilt it out of the way a little bit, you have a good range of motion, and this is the arm that is not affected by a gear function, so you could just turn it however you need it. Weapons are super easy. I'm essentially taking 2016's blade weapon. The shield is really simple. Simply take the 2 2015 shield pieces and connect them to make kind of the lava board used for 2015 Tahu, and put one of these connector pieces on. Now attach a blue peg axle piece in and put that in Kopaka's free hand. So there we go with the shield and the large, I'm not sure what it's called, but like the Blizzard blade combo blade. That looks really cool. Or you could choose to split this to have him dual wield ice swords in a similar fashion to 2015 Tahu. Now, I'm personally noticing mine has a little bit weakness in its ankles, so if that is happening to you too, you may want to add friction adders into the ankles. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. I've added friction adders, or friction pieces, to the ankles, as you can see, and I made a minor modification to the way the shield is held, and there we go. We have a lot more posability with the arm on the shield, and we have a really nice figure. But there we have it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Until next time, I'm Metaverse Freak, and our next Toa Fusion will be Tahoe.